Hi guys, Ryu here, and let's talk about materials in Blender. So the very basics of materials is simply to, when you're in a object mode, right, you click on this tab here, and you simply click new, which will add a new Principled BSDF mod to this cube. And you can change color of this mod and attribute. Now you can't see anything in here because we are in object view, but if you're gonna go to look dev, you'll see the changes immediately. And now we can play with the settings. So for instance, we could make it into metallic, reduce the roughness to make it more reflective. Then we could, for example, change, add the clear coat to it, which is gonna add another layer on top of it, like on cars, you have this kind of like a metal, sheet of the body of the car, and then it's a paint over it. Then you have IR values, so refractivity, and you get transmission, emissions, etc. So all kinds of settings in here. But then you could also change it to different nodes. So for instance, you could change from a principal shader to emission, and you're gonna have a glow, right? So now let me show you how it works. Blender operates on nodes. So when I open this window, if it allows me, there we go, and you go to shader editor, right, you will see nodes, and we have emission node in here. That's why this object glows, and you can change strength and color of the emission and so on, right? Now if I switch it in here to something else, I could do it from here or simply from here. So I could delete that and Shift A and go to shader and go to Principled BSDF and connect this one to the surface. And now I can just, start playing again with my values, right? The same way as we just did before. So you can access these values in here or in here. It's literally the same thing. However, the shader editor is much more complex, and you can start stacking nodes in here, which would be difficult to access from this panel. So for example, if I go to my HardOps, and I will add some materials from KitOps. So I'm using add-ons at the moment. This is not vanilla Blender. And let's go to metal, right? And I'm gonna add this one by holding control and clicking. You can see that the entire node is gonna get added. It's like a whole tree of nodes, right? So I have all different kinds of things in this setup. Let me make it bigger for you. So we have texture coordinates, we have color, we have roughness and bump. And this whole setup is being added with one click. Okay, so this node tree determines how these values here are being affected. Okay, now if I zoom into this cube, you can see we actually have texture on it, right? Metal texture. It's been added to this scene by simply loading images to Blender. Okay, now I could do the same thing through HardOps. If I click on a cube and go Alt-M and add blank material, I'm gonna add a blank material to this cube. Now this is an emission, but I can switch it to something else. And this is emission actually that pulsates, which is why it's black, because in this keyframe it's actually turned off. But if I go to timeline and let it play, it will start working. So you could adjust all these values you see in here. These nodes actually decide how this emission behaves, and this determines the pulse rate. So you could add another material, for example Alt-M and shift click on it, and it's gonna be glass, and you'll see that nodes will get updated with something new. So again, using add-ons for texturing like KitOps or HardOps is just making it so easy and so fun to work. You don't have to, mess about with trees and nodes. It's just, it's there for you to use. It's ready, and you can always adjust it here or through the shader editor. Now, if you want to copy material to another object, all you need to do is select this object, the one you want to copy from, and go here and copy materials, right? So that's that. When you have more than one material, right, so you add another material, you can see all the materials in here. There's a material list in here. Okay, so if you click on this, it will expand. And if you want to switch materials of some object, you simply click on it and choose a different material. Now let's say that you have an object where let's insert this face. So I and E to insert and extrude, and you want this face to have a different material than the whole cube, all you need to do is click on this plus here while you have this face selected, so you need to be in edit mode. Open the plus here and add the material and then assign it to this face, and then you'll have different material on just a part of an object. And this should cover the basics of materials in Blender. Thanks for watching.